This is the founding, I suppose, model of disruptive leadership. It's basically got 4 pieces. So we talk about environment, structure, implementation, and people. And it makes kind of sense, I suppose. So environment is the why. It's the purpose of the team, or the purpose of your purpose, or the purpose of the organization. Then we talk about structure. So this is the what are we doing? What categories do we need to consider? What plans do we need to put in place to actually deliver on the why? Yeah? How are we going to get there? It's kind of the roadmap, I suppose. What are we doing? What are we actually doing day to day? What are we measuring? How do we measure that? Who does that? And then who's doing it at the end? It's interesting because most leadership focuses on what? P, yeah. Most organizations, and so far pretty much without exception, are here. Who's doing what shit? And there's no sense of, hang on a minute, let's stop, let's work out, what are we not doing? Are we actually delivering? What is our purpose? Are we delivering on our purpose? Could we be doing it more effectively and more efficiently? And it's really interesting that the brain, or there are certain types of leaders that fall into each of these 4 categories. So the first one, the visionary leader. Sounds ace, doesn't it? At their very heart, they are very, very rare. What tends to characterize a visionary leader is someone who can obviously really see the big picture, but they can see the big picture where everyone else can only ever see the trees. There is clear space that no one else has ever trodden before, and they can find a path. They can see possibilities and opportunities when other people can only see problems. They are also really into creating the environmental and the psychological environment where people can flourish. So they get off on other people coming with their vision. So there's a big idea, there's a big purpose. The person can tend to think, surely everyone is getting this. Like, I'm so fired up about this. I've communicated it once, maybe, and I can feel the energy. So now I'm going to go off and find something else. And meanwhile, everyone else in the organisation is thinking, like, what are we doing now? Like, are we supposed to be doing something? So really, the opportunity, if you are in this space, is to think about how you're backfilling your vision. So it's to think about and really test, have I communicated my purpose in a way that other people can follow? Or am I just talking ethereally about ideas in a way that people can't follow? The next one is architect. This is actually a rare archetype here in Australia. It's interesting, isn't it? Because an archetype really is an excellent strategist. That's a word that's bandied around quite a lot. But they can see strategy. So in the same way that a visionary can see the end goal, they can see the end goal, but they can also see the steps that might get us there. So they like to plan. I suppose the key identifying factor of an architect is that they have got really super sound judgment. So they're very good at decision making. They're very good at understanding, I suppose, criteria on, is this going to be a good decision? Is this going to be a bad decision? Is this going to work? Is this not going to work? Based on, they will have a whole set of criteria. So they look for, they will find a solution, not see a problem. Tend to be black and white, you know? So there is a way to do things. They see, if they're unresourceful, they see problems, not solutions. Lack of focus. So they see problems everywhere. Like, everything's a goddamn problem. Like, it's exhausting. So how many problems can you bring to me? I can only do one at a time. But they're so focused on the problems that they can't ever get to the solution. And also they've got problems because they think everyone else beneath them is shit. So no one else can solve the problem. The next one is, I think, the next 2 are the 2 that I see most commonly in Australia and the UK, Western basically. Dynamo, high implementers, so very high on the doing. They're great because they are self-starters, they're incredibly dependable. So you can give a dynamo a task and they will go off and it'll be done, like absolutely brilliant. Incredibly consistent. Very self-motivated. Everyone needs dynamos in their team. Everyone needs to be a dynamo or else nothing happens. Yeah, it makes total sense. That they're quite prepared to leave people behind to get the task done. Really cool. That's quite a cool thing to do. Sometimes, obviously it can go wrong. It's too task focused often at the expense of people. So real lack of prioritization. Because they can't think structurally or purposefully often, then Getting the task done at all costs is the thing. Like, that is the thing. And let's move on to the final one, which is the collaborator. This is the people person. Is everyone coming along for the journey? Is everyone feeling included? They're really good at influencing, getting work done through other people. Very empathetic often, really good at listening to others, really good at taking on the opinion of others and actually turning it into something really good. That's awesome. It's not saying no. So what happens? Overload, burnout, overwhelm, inability to get stuff done, inability to actually connect the vision of the team or the purpose of the team to their day-to-day. Because what they can see is the individual and all of their environments, like, you know, so they've got bad sick dog, grandma's not so good, they need to go back to the UK, like, you know what I mean? They can see all of that and they see lots of reasons why they can't hit the goal. Like, this is like wood for the trees thing going on, which can be really, really difficult. That's it. So really, in short, the visionary sees the potential ultimately. So if you're someone who's able to see things that other people can't see, I would suggest that you at some level are a visionary leader. The architect plans the potential, so they're able to see, as I've said, the steps to actually be able to get to the vision, which is really cool. The dynamo actions the potential, so they actually are really into and really consistent around delivery. Awesome. And the collaborator unites people around the potential, so gets people really involved and can see how they can, you know, actually get people to action the potential of the vision, which is really cool. We need all of those in our teams.